heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 2021 Toonie Awards. And no, I'm not going to do a big song and dance like Neil Patrick Harris does for the Tonys, but we're here. This is our annual what was the best and not so best of what we watched this year. Gang's all here, so let's bring in Kate. Kate, how you doing this evening?
I'm so good. I have been, even though we just found out we were doing this, looking forward to this. I've got a year with my tuners, and now we get to celebrate that year. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun this year, and hopefully this will be the first of many annual Toonies. Next, we're going to bring in Peter. Pete, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm really looking forward to this too. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Next, we have Rebecca. Rebecca, how's it going this evening?
It's going well. I voted the first time that you even introduced the awards happening,
Awesome.
So I'm excited to see what won.
Yeah, and we also, for the full complement, we've got Sam this evening. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing great, everyone. Happy to see you all. Happy to say farewell to 2021 and hello to 2022 with all of you.
Definitely. Yeah. So what we did is we put out there a list of 10 categories for the best and the worst of what we reviewed this year on Disney Plus. We are now going to have the results of what you guys, the fans, said. These are your awards. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. First category is the best Marvel series.
Yeah, well, you know, our nominees in this category are all pretty amazing. We have up WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and Hawkeye as the most recent release from the Marvel series this year. Now, personally, I voted for Falcon and Winter Soldier because I think it made amazing points about race relations in this country, and it was really breaking in some of the subjects it covered. But I really think WandaVision's probably going to take it home this evening because it was obviously visually stunning. It had a lot of nods to old TV. But I'm curious to see who the Toonie goes to. So, Derek, will you tell us who got this Toonie?
And the Toonie goes to... Oh, I hit the wrong button. WandaVision.
Ah,
Yay.
I was right.
Yeah. And it was by far the most popular vote for best Marvel series. So,
I see Rebecca's
Okay.
giving it a thumbs down.
Can I say why I think that is?
sure.
I think that is because it wasn't typical in your face fighting battle Marvel. It was the one that had more like storyline narration. I think so many people resonated with each episode being a shout out to a different show. But I think that's why so many people resonated with it, is because of the story of Wanda and Vision, and that it was different than anything else Marvel has done.
Okay, definitely agree. Now, if we've had the best Marvel series, we also have got nominees for the worst Marvel series. And the reason it's these four is these were the only four Marvel series. So,
Yes.
We should have put What If in this series.
no.
For worst Marvel series, we have the same as the best. So we've got WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and then Hawkeye as well. I think this is tough because none of them were bad. My worst favorite, I would say, is Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because the other three to me just resonated a little bit better. And I do think that Falcon and Winter Soldier will also probably win the worst Marvel series for this, but I'm excited to see. So, Derek, what was the Toonie for this one?
The Toonie for this goes to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
No.
As of yesterday, this was actually a tie that got decided today. The other one was Loki.
That
was my guess because I felt like Loki to pay a nod to confused Kate. Loki is the most confusing of all of them. I think are great. I agree with Rebecca. All of them are great, so it's hard to pick a worse. But to me, I voted for Loki only because it's more confusing than the other 3 series.
That makes sense. And again, I would agree with Rebecca. This was the most Marvel-y of all the Marvels. This was the most in-your-face Marvel. So
Hawkeye pulled a close second when it came to Marvel-y Marvels.
Yeah, I agree.
Hawkeye pulled a close second, but I would agree this was the most Marvel-y.
All right.
I love the most Marvel-y Marvels.
Okay. Our next category is Best Documentary or Documentary Series.
Yes. Best documentary series. As you all know, documentaries are my heart. I love a good documentary. Our nominees were The Rescue, which was about the boys in the cave, The Boys, which is about the Sherman brothers, Behind the Attraction, which was about all things Disney attractions, and Own the Room, which was about a bunch of kids owning a room. So
that was the philanthropist entrepreneur competition.
Yes.
So
to me, there was one standout winner, but Derek, I will let you announce.
Well, the Toonie goes to The Boys.
No! Robbed. The Rescue should have won.
It went and this one was relatively close, but The Boys had a lead the entire voting.
Yeah. This one was really good too, though. I mean, the rescue, I could see people being less interested in it. In terms of like the story of it versus, Disney fans would really be interested in this. But I do agree that Rescue is probably ahead of this in my estimation in terms of the quality. But this is a really great selection too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if we've had the best documentary, we also had some clunkers. So we have the worst documentary or documentary series nominees.
Yeah. So we did look at quite a few documentaries this year. And so our choices here are Howard, about Howard Ashman, Behind the Attraction, which was a series, Jane, about Jane Goodall, and Own the Room, which again was also in the best. So I don't know. Of this bunch, I would have to say Jane would be my pick because it was bad. But I think I would be okay if either Jane or Own the Room won because both of those were not particularly good. So, but Jane, I think, is going to win it if people have actually seen it.
And I will say that the reason that Behind the Attraction and Own the Room were on both best and worst is there were very strong reactions to both of those.
Yeah.
So,
I really liked Own the Room, but I'm with you on Jane, Pete.
Yeah. And the Toonie goes to Jane.
Bad.
Good. Jane.
Good choice. Good choice, people.
Yes. Or bad choice or
no.
The proper choice. Yes. Okay.
And I'm sure there's good Jane Goodall documentaries out there, but this
wasn't one of them.
Yep.
No.
We can thank Chad for this one.
Yeah, we can. The next category we have is the best animated feature or series.
This is such a great category this year, you guys. We had Doug Days, we had Olaf Presents, we had Luca, Bad Batch, and Raya and the Last Dragon. My personal favorite was definitely Doug Days, but Olaf Presents was also so good. So I would not be surprised if Olaf Presents wins. I will be surprised if any of the other 3 wins. But let's hear who the Toonie goes to, Derek.
The Toonie goes to Olaf Presents.
And Kate's very excited about that.
I will say, Sam, I am with you. Honestly, I would have gone Doug Days. But this is not a bad decision by any stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, our next category we have.
I can't believe The Rescue didn't win. I'm still shocked by that. Continue.
Well, the best non-Marvel series.
All right, y'all. I'm going to get over my disappointment. Although I will say The Boys was very good. And it's hard to compare those two documentaries, but it's fine. I'll get over it. The best non-Marvel series nominations were The Mighty Ducks Season 1, Quack Quack, High School Musical Season 3, Mysterious Benedict Society Season 1, and Bad Batch Season 1. My pick, to me, there is one that was far superior to all of them, and that was Mysterious Benedict Society. After watching that, I actually went and listened to all of the books. Thanks, Sam, for recommending that for me. And I'm currently making my way through the prequel book. So I loved the Mysterious Benedict. What is it, Derek?
The Toonie goes to the Mysterious Benedict Society.
Woo! I'm with you, Kate.
Yeah. Personally, I would have gone Mighty Ducks.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, Mighty Ducks was fun, but this was way better.
But Derek, did you now hang on?
I enjoyed Mighty Ducks more too.
I feel like the reason we liked Mighty Ducks, which, by the way, did you all know that one of the main kids who was in the Mighty Ducks original movie who came back in the show is on Daredevil? You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
Anyway.
Which one?
Yes, he's he plays the best friend in Daredevil.
Yeah, he plays.
And he's
Foggy.
What is his name, like Eldon or something like that?
Foggy.
Yep. And his face looks exactly the same as it did when he was a kid. Yeah.
I will say personally, the reason I liked Mighty Ducks so much was because it was you didn't have to think about it. It was a completely brainless, lots of fun, this kids show. So that's why, and I said, for me, that's why I like Mighty Ducks better. But again, I think we all enjoyed Mysterious Benedict Society. Okay. Mm-hmm. Our next award is the best non-Marvel movie.
Yes. So for non-Marvel movie nominations, we have Cruella, Luca, Raya and the Last Dragon, and Jungle Cruise. Now, out of these four, personally, Raya and the Last Dragon does it for me. I was hysterically laughing the entire time, but I really do think Cruella is probably going to win this one. It was just over the top and outstanding in everything that it did. So what does it actually go to, Derek?
The Toonie in this goes to Cruella.
Woo!
This is one that up until about 3:00 this afternoon, we were actually going to have a tie between Cruella and Jungle Cruise.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but no, Cruella has won the best non-Marvel movie and was personally my vote.
So did Sam go in and vote 5 times?
You know it. Like, listen, I like Jungle Cruise. I thought Jungle Cruise was a fun movie, but Cruella is way better than any of the nominees on that list. So I did not vote 5 times. I only voted once because you had to put in your email address. But if I could vote off early and often, Pete, I would have voted for Cruella.
Okay. Our next category is the best new live action movie. So this is one that includes Marvel. So we have Black Widow, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, we have Jungle Cruise, and we have Cruella. Okay. So
is that one me?
That one is you, Pete.
That's you,
I'm sorry,
Pete.
I stole your thunder a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think for me, I know I kind of trashed it a little bit, but I think of this bunch of movies, I would probably pick Cruella as the best one, but it might go to Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings because that was really good too. So I think it'll be between those two myself.
Okay.
Who is it?
Toonie goes to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This was this was not even close.
Really?
Really, it was not even close. Shang-Chi won very handily.
It was really good.
It was a really good. I have to agree with Pete. This was a really good. I mean, I still voted for Cruella because we know how much I love it. But Shang-Chi for sure would have been a close second for me. It's such a great movie.
Next category is the best vault movie that we reviewed.
Yeah, this is a tough category, you guys, because these are some really good classic Disney movies. And I say classic, I'm talking vault. Obviously, they're all a lot of from different time periods. So we had Toy Story, The Sandlot, Peter Pan, Hocus Pocus, Muppet Christmas Carol. I really think Toy Story is going to take it home because I think Toy Story is one of the best Pixar movies, best Disney movies to have ever been created in the history of the Walt Disney Studios. But that's my personal thought. I don't know. Let's see who the Toonie goes to, Derek.
Well, the Toonie goes to Toy Story.
Yeah, I think.
This was the biggest margin of victory of any of them.
Yeah,
was Toy Story.
I mean, those were all those other movies were classics for the most part, but like this is like top tier, right?
Well, and I think The Sandlot is one of the only things that I gave a 5 rating to, and I still voted Toy Story over The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, before we get to our last category, what is an honorable mention? What's something that did not get a nomination that you think people should go on and watch? And by random choice, Kate, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, one thing I really enjoyed that I watched that we did not nominate, because I don't think it came out this year. I meant to ask, are we supposed to talk about something that came out this year or just something that we watched on Disney Plus?
Something you watched this year.
Okay. I really, really enjoyed, it was called On Point, and it was a documentary about the American Ballet.
Okay.
But it was children American Ballet Theater, something like that. I know I'm getting it wrong, but and they were auditioning for the Nutcracker. And so to watch these kids go through, I think it was like 4 or 5 episodes, I really, really enjoyed it. It was really good. And also Hamilton. That's all.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking Hamilton is way up there. Boy, that's it was good to. I hadn't actually seen it on stage, so I was thrilled to see that. So that was probably my top one, and I can't say enough about. I mentioned it a few times in the show, but Secrets of the Zoo. There's like 3 or 4 series now on that, and my family, my daughter, my wife, me, we all love watching it. We'll watch it while we're eating dinner and everything like that. And there's a lot of episodes now, so there's plenty to watch.
Yeah.
I also want to make a quick shout out to, we've been catching up on Clone Wars, the animated series, and we're up to season 4. And I'm not sure it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I am enjoying it in terms of filling in some of the history of Star Wars. So, Rebecca?
Okay, wait, hold on, Pete. Let me ask a question real quick. Well, sorry, Rebecca, hang on. At what point, because I've tried to watch Clone Wars, and I cannot get through season 1. At what point does it, like, kick into high gear? Because, like...
I think we're in season 4, and I think like season 4 is where it's becomes good. Yeah, it's
and on this one, guys, I'm actually going to pull on our producer Gina. Gina, where's the light at the end of the tunnel for Kate?
All right, so I can't remember when do we start realizing that Ahsoka's going on? She knows what's going on with Anakin. Is that season 4? Because that's when it gets really good. And Darth Maul, we got Darth Maul here now.
Yeah, that hasn't come up yet, but it's
okay.
Season 4. It seems like
spoiler.
Improve the animation and everything.
Sorry, it's been 10 years.
Wait, Anakin's the bad guy? Oh, you ruined it.
You ruined the whole thing.
He knows.
Wait, is Darth Luke's father too?
Whoa.
Well,
Vader means father in German, you guys.
Ahsoka knows that that Anakin is married. That's that's what I want to know. When she figures
that hasn't happened yet.
It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Ahsoka finds out,
go right to season 4.
Just jump to season 4.
Thank you, Gina.
All right, Rebecca.
Alrighty. My favorite thing that we watched outside of the things that, we are nominating and having Toonies for was definitely the Race to the Center of the Earth. For me, reality shows hit hard. I love Big Brother. I love Amazing Race. I love anything and everything to do with reality TV. And so to have something similar to that on Disney Plus was spot on for me. Sam, what about you?
You guys have chosen some really good ones. I loved Race to the Center of the Earth. I loved Hamilton. I mean, you guys are picking some great ones. But I have to say, one thing that I really loved were a bunch of Disney shorts that were premiered on Disney Plus this year. In particular, there were a ton of great ones. There was Bow, there was Out, but the one that I really want to highlight is Us Again, which was this amazing, there was no dialogue, it was just all dancing and animated acting. It was so wonderful. It was done very similar to the style of Soul, the movie. It was very sort of jazz inspired, but it was just wonderful. I cannot stress enough that was something you should all watch. Us Again.
Okay.
Derek, what about you?
For me, I'm actually also going to go documentary, but I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go prop culture. It is basically this guy who goes in and goes through the Disney archives and finds all of these different props from some of the great movies. They do a whole episode on Mary Poppins. They do an episode on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it's all these props. And then they go to the people who were involved with the movies. Like they go to, and you don't remember his name, but he was Julie Andrews' husband who helped design the sets and the costumes for Mary Poppins. Tony something. I want to say Tony Blair, but that's not right.
That's not right.
And neither is Tony Stark. So, but I will say I loved Hamilton, but I want to kind of go something that came out this year. So that's why I chose the prop culture. Okay, guys.
No Turner and Hooch?
No Big Shot? I'm shocked.
And so, guys, we have come to our last category. In this category, the nominees came from the five of us plus Gina, as far as what was the best show of 2021. So, okay.
Oh, is this me?
It
is me.
Kate,
it's me. Okay, everybody. The moment you have all been waiting for. Oh, wait. My roommate's gonna love me. All right, we have Loki, Star Wars Bad Batch, WandaVision, The Mysterious Benedict Society, and Olaf Presents. So Derek, is this the winner of each category?
No, not necessarily. These were the 5 shows that we as a team came up with as the best of the best.
Oh, wow. And The Rescue wasn't on there. All right. That's
not when I asked you. You said no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did not. This one.
Well, these are all shows, not movies.
Yeah, none of them are movies.
That's a good point. Very good point. Okay, I just want to say for the record, this is a tough one because how do you compare Olaf Presents to Loki or Olaf Presents to Mysterious Benedict? But if you notice, all 5 of these have a level of humor to them. They have a little bit of comedy in them. I think as a platoon, as a whole, we do appreciate a little bit of comedy. Would you all agree with that? We all
definitely.
We appreciate comedy.
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be like laugh out loud the whole time, but I feel like that you need to have comedic elements to kind of keep you engaged. Yeah.
Yes. My guess is this is going to be my guess is it's going to be WandaVision. That's my guess. I don't know, but that's my guess. Derek?
Well, I will say this is the one that had the second highest margin of victory. And our winner was the Scarlet Witch of WandaVision.
Wow.
Yes. Was seen as the best show that people watched of 2021. And I think we talked about multiple reasons for that to have happened.
I think it's crazy because that was one of the first things that we watched too. That was one of the first things that as a team we watched together.
Our first show was the finale.
Yeah.
Really?
That's crazy.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
crazy because we
I
didn't even
think-
talk about the rest of the show.
Yeah. I
on
think
the show.
I think also
know?
like I think the expectation for that show was low though, because like going in you were kind of like, oh, what is this?
Mhm.
And then the first 2 episodes like didn't really grab me that much, and I was kind of after 2 episodes I was kind of like, I guess I'll keep watching it. And then it got so good and really heartfelt, more so than any of the other series. I think the comedy and the humor and the it just all worked really well.
Yeah.
I
And it was
can't believe that her
Agatha
first
all
show.
along, right? I mean,
That's right.
I mean, she honestly, if I could pick like the best character from Disney Plus for
Ooh.
2021, I might pick Agatha Harkness. I mean, she was such a wonderful character.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
She
makes me
was.
want to ask like who was the best villain from 2021?
Ooh.
Agatha might be up there.
I'm gonna actually give it to not Cruella, but the villain in Cruella, which is
the Baroness.
The mom.
Baroness. Yeah, the Baroness.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah,
she was a
because
great
she
villain.
wasn't the villain.
Because she was nasty.
Yeah.
She was
And if
nasty.
you're gonna go best character, guys, I gotta throw Doug out there.
Oh yes, I mean Doug is like I just love him. I just met him and I just love him.
I think I need to go back and rewatch Doug Days because Olaf Presents just blew Doug Days out of the water for me. So I think I need to go back and rewatch.
Oh no, I feel like they were both so good in just different ways.
And to me, the big difference was original stories versus redoing the classics. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, guys, that is our show. That is our awards. Going to be interesting to see who comes back for 2022. The first one that will have the opportunity will probably be the Book of Boba Fett, which starts this week. So, with that being said, guys, everyone have an amazing 2022. Hope you have a safe end to 2021, and we will see everyone next year.
Thanks
Bye,
for
everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcast and leave those 5-star reviews as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @plusplatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.